All right, what's going on, guys? Welcome to Behind the Grind. So, as you guys already know, my main game used to be Warhammer 40k Space Marine 2, but recently I switched over to Darktide because Space Marine 2 is not getting any new content until the month of September. So, I just really wanted to find an excuse to get back into Darktide, and well, here we are. So, in today's video, I really want to talk to you guys about why I personally think that Darktide was the best thing to happen to Warhammer 40k, and why Darktide perfectly embodies what 40k is. So before we begin, I want to ask you to please consider liking the video and subscribing to the channel. Also, let's take a moment to thank our channel members for supporting the Behind the Grind YouTube channel. Joining will give you access to some cool perks like adding me as a friend and playing some games together. Your help means a lot, and if you're interested in being a channel member, check out the information in the description down below. Thank you. So without further ado, let's go ahead and yap about some Warhammer 40k Darktide. So first off, I really want to talk about the great atmosphere that Warhammer 40k Darktide provides to the player. Now, as you guys can see on screen, this is what Warhammer 40k is. You got all of these cool environments, this really grim dark aesthetic in all of the level design, and just overall, Nurgle's Rod is really taking over the hive city of Atoma Prime. Now, this perfectly embodies Warhammer 40k in my opinion, because we're not necessarily playing this game from the perspective of a genetically modified super soldier that is a space marine. Instead, we are playing as regular humans, man, and we're not even a part of the Astra Militarum. We're just rejects, we're criminals, we're just trying to fight our way through survival and just try not to die as we accomplish some objectives here and there for the Inquisition. And to me, there's just something that's so great about that, you know, the Space Marines in Warhammer 40k Space Marine 2 do have their banter back and forth from time to time. However, in Darktide, all of these rejects really seem like genuine people. They talk shit to each other, they banter, they complain about the mission. They can really have their own personalities, which is one of those things that you can also customize when you first create a character, about how you want your character to act and interact with other characters. And you know, that just really helps with immersion, which goes into my next point, which is the extremely immersive gameplay. Like I said before, we're not playing as some genetically modified space marine, so when it comes to playing as a regular person in Darktide, it's not that we can feel like we are in their shoes or that we can necessarily relate to all the crazy shit that's going on in the actual game, but it just feels more grounded and down to earth. There's no chaos space marines running around and gunning everything down with their bolters, or just this massive great unclean one that is just killing and infecting everything in sight. Instead, it's more low-key, and what I mean by that is that you just get all these hordes of poxwalkers that just roll up to the squad and they just try to overtake you, or you get all these scabs, all these tox flamers, poxhounds. All of the enemies in this game are extremely good at making this feel like a down-to-earth and grounded experience. And you know what, man, is that the horde shooter as a whole, the zombie horde shooter, is one of those genres of games that has always been popular over the course of video game history. We've had great games like Left 4 Dead, Call of Duty Zombies, and well, this was just the perfect idea for a Warhammer 40k game. I mean, think about it. Could a game like this really work with any other Chaos God that is not Nurgle? I mean, you could make the argument that this could possibly work with someone like Tzeentch, or someone like Slaanesh, and using their lesser demons and their cultists and their traitor Imperial Guardsmen. But go ahead and let me know in the comment section down below if you think that the essential idea of Darktide can necessarily work with anything else. Me personally, I think something like this could work with maybe the Tyranids or a Gene Stealer cult. And when it comes to Chaos, I would probably like to see some forces of Tzeentch. I think it would be pretty cool squaring up against some blue and pink horrors and all their cultists and all their lesser demons. However, not to get off point, the enemy design in this game is just, once again, perfection. Going back to Nurgle, there's nothing like smacking around a group of poxwalkers and just seeing all the maggots come flying out of their bodies, or gunning down a bunch of poxhounds and just as a group putting down a beast of Nurgle, man. This is all great fun. And Nurgle, as you guys already know, is my favorite Chaos God, so that's another reason why I'm overly biased towards this game. I just love Darktide, and I love seeing all this Nurgle decay and rot, and like some aspects of Nurgle's growth and Nurgle's garden just kind of growing all over the environments within this game. To see the disease and the plague and the zombie-esque nature of Nurgle on full display in this game just really ties me in, and once again just grows my love for this game. There's just nothing that really compares to the experiences that I get while playing Darktide. And while playing this, you really do feel like you're playing together as a team with you and your other rejects. In Space Marine 2, one of the negatives that I have in the gameplay, especially like during the new Horde mode that was introduced to Space Marine 2, is that you're not necessarily working as a team because everyone's just kind of fighting their own battles. In Warhammer 40k Darktide, it's extremely beneficial to play together as a team because you get a lot of perks or passive upgrades to you and your buddies when you guys are playing together, right? So like if you guys stay within a certain radius of each other, then you guys will grow stronger and stronger the longer that you are together. And like you get stuff back like toughness, you get increased damage, you get all these different types of passives that really incentivize players to play together. And for me personally, that's something that Space Marine 2 really lacks. Warhammer 40k Darktide is one of those co-op games in which I just love sitting down with a couple of friends and just diving into the over-decaying world that is Atoma Prime. And you know what, man, like when it comes to the grim dark environments in this game, it's just by looking at this is Warhammer 40k, man. Like I said before, this idea worked perfectly because this had to do with Nurgle, but I'm not really sure if this kind of thing would have worked for anything else other than the forces of chaos when it comes to the Lord and Grandfather of Decay that is Nurgle. So, like I mentioned previously, go ahead and let me know your thoughts and comments down below and what you guys think of Warhammer 40k Darktide as a whole. That's why I think that Darktide was the best thing that happened to Warhammer 40k. So, with all that being said, if you enjoyed the video, please consider giving it a like and subscribing to the channel for more content. Also, if you wish to support the channel further, I'd encourage you to join the channel membership for exclusive perks. Thanks. This has been Behind the Grind, talking about why Darktide was the best thing to happen to 40k, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace!